moving on. Player's Voice. This is the one where players vote. Sonic Frontiers. Genshin Impact, God of War Ragnarok, Elden Ring, and Stray. Horizon Forbidden West, not even on the list. Now, if you don't know who won, in the chat right now, if you don't know who won, I want you to guess in the chat right now. What won the players' vote? Sonic Frontiers, Genshin Impact, God of War Ragnarok, Elden Ring, or Stray? I want you to guess. It was Genshin Impact. Why even have this category? But why even have this category? It's just going to be the MMO that wins every time. Or the mobile game that wins every time. Because mobile games are so big. And then that's it. Game of the Year was the only one left. Plague Tale, Elden Ring, God of War, Horizon, Stray, and Xenoblade Chronicles, and Elden Ring won. So, those are all the winners. Now, let's talk about the actual show, because I got some things to talk about. So, I have a big, long list of notes. This might not be everything. I was honestly so enthralled with the show that I forgot to write down notes about some things. Because, like, I was really into the show. First of all, before I get into the contents of the show, I must say, this was the most metal game of the year of all time. It was incredibly metal. From the games to, like, the presentation, every 5 seconds there was a guitar playing, and I swear, every single section, there was at least one F-bomb. There were F-bombs in the, there were F-bombs in the game trailers. There were F-bombs dropped by the people at the show. There were, like, just every 5 seconds, someone's dropping an F-bomb, and then someone's playing a guitar solo. It was the most metal show. It was incredibly fun to watch. This might be the most fun I've ever had watching a Game Awards show. Because it was, like, incredibly fun to watch. With just how crazy it got. So, that was awesome. I thoroughly enjoyed the show in general. Okay, so the first announcement that caught me off guard, it was during the pre-show, was a Dead Cells announcement. And if you did not see... Are you okay, Vaughn? You're just standing there. Oh, he must have been asleep, but I couldn't see it because of all his other stuff. We need to heal. So Dead Cells announced that I think it's like a DLC or a separate game. I'm not even that sure because it wasn't super obvious from the trailer. But it's called Dead Cells Return to Castlevania. So they're doing a crossover with Castlevania, and it looked amazing. You should definitely check out the trailer. They even had like a meme at the end where I don't remember which character died. I think it was Simon. Somebody died during the last cutscene, and it did the little that the NES game does. It was pretty great. Well, it was interesting because the first time that someone dropped an F-bomb, it seemed like an accident, and the person that did it was kind of like, whoops, and then, like, Jeff was kind of like, oh, that's kind of awkward, like, you could see it on his face, he was like, oh, you shouldn't have said that, but then literally there was a trailer that dropped 3 F-bombs within the first 10 seconds of the trailer, later on in the show. So I was like, are they just are they just embracing it, or like was this the plan? Was to be like more edgy, or what? It was weird. It was strange, but it was very enjoyable. It was very entertaining. Can't say it wasn't entertaining. Okay, so Dead Cells was really, really neat. Then they did a Vampire Survivors announcement that it's coming to mobile, which I was kind of sad because I'm really looking forward to Vampire Survivors on console. I don't know if it'll ever come to console, but I really want it on console. But mobile is pretty neat for that type of game. Having it on the go and be able to just blast stuff, like, it sounds really fun. My only issue is potentially, like, because you're... That's true, it is on Xbox. I want it on PlayStation. For me, console is PlayStation. Xbox is just another PC. Not really, but... I can pretend it is. My only issue with Vampire Survivors on mobile is, like, because your character is so small, I feel like you're just gonna see your finger. Like, I'm not really sure how you can control, unless they put controls at the bottom. Like, I hope they put controls on the bottom you can press, and you're not, like, moving your finger. Because I think it would be hard to see enemies if your finger's, like, in the middle of the screen. But I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see what they do. Okay, then we had a Returnal announcement that Returnal's coming to PC. That's really dope, because roguelikes always do really good on PC, and Returnal looks like it's made for PC almost. So that's really neat. Then we had a Hellboy game, which was kind of a out of left field, but pretty cool. It's like stylized like a comic book, and a lot of people like Hellboy is has a cult following, so that was pretty neat. The fans were pretty hype about that. Then we had this game called Viewfinder. And that looked incredibly interesting. It looked like Superliminal, but like on steroids, where you could take a picture of anything and put it in front of you and it became what was in front of you. If you haven't seen this trailer, you gotta check it out. If you're into puzzle game, like first-person puzzle games, you gotta check out this trailer. It's really, really cool. I think I gave the Marlboro Ronald on accident. It's called Viewfinder. Definitely check out that trailer. It was interesting. Then there was an Atomic Heart trailer, but I think it was an old trailer. I think it was just an ad. I don't think it was actually a new trailer for the show. But man, Atomic Heart looks really cool. It's like, I mean, for me, being a huge BioShock fan, it's like really up my alley. It's made by the director from BioShock, I think, or either the team or the director or whatever. But you can tell. I mean, it's very BioShock, but not BioShock, and it looks really good. Every time I see it, I get more and more excited about it. Then we had probably the second biggest announcement. I'm looking through the announcements. Okay, maybe third biggest. Maybe third biggest announcement of the night. Hades 2. I'm excited. It looks so good. It looks so good. I was not expecting Hades 2 at all. I was not expecting it this early. When the trailer started and I realized it was Supergiant, it didn't look like Hades 2 at first. I thought it was like a spin-off or like a DLC or something, and then it started ramping up, and then they showed the gameplay, and I was like, oh my god, it's Hades 2, like straight up Hades 2. So like, oh man, big excitement, especially since like they probably have so much more ability to like, they have a lot more, for lack of a better term, money, resources. They have so many more resources to put into Hades 2 than they did with Hades 1. Like, oh man, it looks so good. I'm so excited for that. So excited for that. I need to change this back. So that was big. I got my money's worth just from that. Then after that was Judas, which I forget what's the name of what's the company that's making Judas? I forget. But that's also got like a BioShock feel to it. And man, did that trailer definitely grab me. I was sucked in by that trailer. It looked really cool. If you haven't seen the Judas trailer. Okay, that one was made by the BioShock creator. Who made Atomic Heart then? Does Atomic Heart also have like the team from BioShock, or was I just completely mixed between the two? Because I thought they had said something about Mundfish. Okay, maybe I had it mixed in my head then. Anyway, Atomic Heart does have like a lot of BioShock influence in it, pretty obviously. Especially with the music and stuff. But Judas was the one that's specifically made by Ken Levine, and it looks amazing. It looks really, really interesting. Definitely check out Judas if you have any interest in BioShock, because it looks really, really cool. Then, one of the weirder announcements, they came out and they were like, guys, Bayonetta 3, everyone loves it. It won some game awards. Now check this trailer out. And then it started off with Bayonetta, and everyone was like, oh my god, Bayonetta 4, Bayonetta DLC, Bayonetta something. And then it was like stylized with like a book. And then the book started flipping pages backwards all the way to the beginning of the book. And then it said Bayonetta Origins. And everyone was like, okay, I get it. We're doing like a prequel. Pretty interesting. And then it became a trailer for what looked like a completely different game. It was like a top-down, retro-graphic-ish, cute, pretty RPG thing. Like, think the exact opposite of Bayonetta. That's what it was. Instead of 3D, you know, Charlie's Angels, gun shoot action, it was like pretty top-down RPG. And then it was like, yep, this is Bayonetta Origins. Moving on. And everyone was like, okay, I guess. So that was pretty weird. Not that Bayonetta can't do something different, but the way they did the trailer was a bit strange. I almost feel like they should have just shown the game and then been like, by the way, this has to do with Bayonetta. But instead they like started off with regular Bayonetta gameplay and then showed that, and everyone was just confused. And like the crowd made like absolutely no noise after they were just like, I'm lost. You could tell everyone was just really confused as to what they just watched. Then we had a God of War concert thing, and if you have not seen this, oh my god. The singer that did the song, the God of War song, woo! It was so good. It was so good. I saw some people online that were like, that God of War thing was pretty good. I thought it was like incredible. Maybe it's just me, but that singer like hit my soul. And then Bear in the background just going crazy. That was great. That was so great. He had like a really strange ethnic instrument. I don't even know what it's called, but he was just like going ham. I think that was Bear, wasn't it? The one with the instrument? The weird instrument? It was great. Yeah, it was awesome. You gotta check that out. Then we had a really cool trailer for Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. It was a trailer for the game, but they didn't even say the name of the game. Instead, at the end, it just said, "Thank you, Kevin," which was a reference to Kevin Conroy, who's the voice of Batman who passed away this year. So they like pretty much didn't even talk about the game at all. It was just there as a tribute to him. So that was really cool. I didn't even know the name of the game. I had to look it up because they didn't even say it. They just said, "Thank you, Kevin." So that was cool. And then Jeff had like a really nice little speech about him too afterwards. And then there was Star Wars Jedi Survivor, which I gotta admit looks really freaking good. It reminds me a lot of Fallen Order. That's what it's called, right? Fallen Order? Yeah. Reminds me a lot of Fallen Order, which I'm not a Star Wars guy, but I played Fallen Order and really enjoyed it. Didn't beat it, but it's on my list. It's on the trophy list because I really enjoyed it a lot. It's got this like Dark Souls-y feel to it in a way. Like it's got the mechanics of a Dark Souls game, but it's Star Wars'd out and it's really fun. And yeah, the new one looks freaking really crazy good. So that was neat, and we already knew it was going to be announced. It was one of the things that everyone knew was going to be at the show, but they definitely did a good job with it. Then we had an announcement that Last of Us Part 1, the new remake thing, is going to be on PC, like starting off when it releases. I think it's when it releases. It's going to be on PC right away. So that's a really cool announcement. And I'm sure a lot of people are really hyped about that. Then we had probably the second biggest announcement of the show. Not really to everyone, but to us. Earthblade finally got a something. But it wasn't even just a something. There was like gameplay of sorts. It was like half trailer, half gameplay. But for those of you that don't know, Earthblade is the next game being made by the Celeste team. And yeah, we already knew it was a game. They already announced that they were working on a game called Earthblade, but that's literally all we knew. We didn't even know what type of game it was. We just knew, hey, we're working on Earthblade. And then this was the first thing we've like seen at all, and it looks like Hollow Knight meets Celeste or something. It's like a Metroidvania looking thing. And yeah, it looks really cool. But what got me was the song. Oh my god. Oh my god. Like, I think the trailer was okay. They didn't show a lot, so like I don't want to say like greatest trailer of all time. Like, let's be fair, the trailer was like, it was a trailer. It got us excited, but it was nothing more than that. But the song was so good. Holy cow, that got me excited. It caught me. Caught me. So, yeah. Safe to say, I'm pretty excited. But also, like, I don't think I'm the only one just because Celeste. Like, the crowd popped, especially when it said makers of Celeste. Everyone popped, which was really cool to see. Don't forget, Celeste almost won Game of the Year. So, like, you know, it's not like no one there knew what Celeste was. I mean, everyone knew. Everyone was excited as soon as they saw Celeste, so that was really cool. Then we had something, probably what I was excited about the most for the whole show. I don't know how everyone else felt about it, but this is probably the moment that I was the most excited for the entire show. They showed Forspoken, and they said, I don't remember exactly how they worded it, but they were like, you're going to be able to play it sooner than you think, or something like that. And then they showed a Forspoken demo, and oh my god, guys, I am so happy they pushed it back. I am so happy they delayed Forspoken, because the original stuff that I saw, the original trailers, I thought looked really weak. Like, I was really worried about it. I didn't think it was going to be good. I wanted it to be good. I loved the direction of it. Like, I loved the concept, but the trailer just didn't do it for me. The trailer itself was laggy. It was like, just, it didn't look good. And then they announced that they were pushing it back, and I was like, they're either pushing it back because they're going to make it great, or they're pushing it back because they're just going to, like, cancel it or turn it into something else. So I was a little worried about that, but man, this trailer brought me right back in. This trailer looked so good. It looks like a completely different game now. Like, it still has the same feel, and the movement still looks the same, but it looks so much better than it looked before. And then they announced that there's a demo live right now, which I haven't played the demo yet. I want to play it this weekend or on Monday or something, because I think we're going to do a double day today. I thought about playing it today after Fantathon, but I think we're going to do a double day because we spent the whole day talking about, or the whole first part of the day talking about Game Awards, so we should probably, like, do something in the game. But, I'm really excited to play the demo. Even if the demo isn't perfect, I'm just happy they're releasing a demo. This shows me that they want to get some feedback. They want to basically not finish making the game until it's good. Because there's always two things with Square Enix. It's either they just put a game out and they just let everyone buy it and say what they're going to say about it, or they have games where they actually really want it to make it good. And I feel like Forspoken is something that they really think they have something special, and they really want to make it good. They don't want Forspoken to, like, drown, you know. This tells me that they really care about the project, so that's enough for me. I'm excited just from that alone. We'll see how the trailer goes, if I like it or not. But at least they're trying. At least they're trying to get some feedback, and that just makes me happy, so that was cool. Then we had the 1.5 biggest announcement of the night. It's probably the second biggest announcement, but I don't care about it as much as other people. Death Stranding 2 was announced. And the way they announced it was really cool. And they had Kojima come out, because if you have Kojima on your show, it's automatically 10 times better. And they had some memes with Kojima, which was fun. And the game itself apparently is just called DS2 instead of Death Stranding 2, which, you know, because Kojima. So that's cool. And the trailer looked pretty interesting. And that's all I have to say about it, because I don't know anything about Death Stranding, and I don't really care to, because it doesn't seem to be my kind of thing. But it looks really neat. That's all I got. It looked very neat. And yeah, I mean, it's always a big deal when Kojima's making something, so. Yeah, weird to call it DS2 when a lot of people call Dark Souls 2 DS2, but apparently that's what they're going with. It's specifically DS2. Yeah, what's more important is that Kojima is doing what he wants to do. That's really what it comes down to. After being wrapped into terrible projects he didn't want to do for like his whole career, he's finally just allowed to do what he wants to do. He's just released into the world as himself. And that's what matters, you know? If he's happy, I'm happy. Then we had Baldur's Gate 3 announcement. which I just don't know enough about Baldur's Gate 3. I grew up with the original Baldur's Gates, and it's like one of my favorite childhood games, but I just don't really follow the series other than that, so I don't know. Are people excited for Baldur's Gate 3, or is it kind of like... Are people getting the feeling that they're just cashing in on this, or are people actually excited for it? I don't know. It seemed like the crowd was pretty excited, but it was hard to read the room. I guess we'll see. The trailer looked okay. It was nothing like special. It was like typical RPG trailer, but it didn't look bad. Quicksilver, thank you for the 29 months. And Hanzettel, thank you for the 17. And Knock, thank you for the raid. And Livestream with a $100 donation. You guys can't see it because the alerts are paused. Can I get some love in the chat for Livestream? He wants to put Hades 2 on the trophy quest. I'm down. Put it on there already. Doesn't even have a release date. Don't care. You know I'm playing it. Thank you so much. And thanks everyone for being here, and thanks for all the support. Okay, where was I? Baldur's Gate 3. Then we had a game called Wayfinder, which I guess has been something that people have known about for a bit, but they gave a bit more info. I don't know anything about it, but... Oh, you gotta watch the trailer, Retro. It's wild. Like, I love the direction they're going, because it's not like a direct sequel, because that would be silly, so they came up with a way to make it work, and it's really cool. Anyways, yeah, Wayfinder, like, that trailer kind of grabbed me. I knew nothing about the game, but the trailer, I was like, okay, I'm in. Like, it looked really good. If you haven't heard of it, you should give that trailer a watch, because it was a pretty neat trailer. Then, big announcement for us. No, the puzzle game was Viewfinder. Kind of confusing. They both have Finder in the name. Big announcement for us. Horizon DLC. We called it. We said there was probably going to be Horizon DLC at the show, and there was, and it looks really cool, and it takes place in Hollywood, and the Hollywood sign got destroyed by a giant squid demon, the same squid demon that I was like, I wish we could fight that thing, and now we probably get to fight that thing, and I'm pretty excited. So, yeah, I was pretty hyped for that trailer. They didn't show that much, but they didn't need to. We failed them. Yeah, it feels bad. Horizon Zero Awards. Then they showed a trailer for Remnant 2, which looked way better than I thought it would. I had a lot of issues with the original Remnant game. It was not my favorite. I was really hyped for it. I bought it, and then I was like, eh. But Remnant 2 looks pretty neat. Pretty neat. I liked the trailer a lot, so I'll probably be keeping an eye on that. Then we had a Transformers trailer that looked like it was the next big Sony blockbuster game. Like, whoa. Whoa. That Transformers trailer was nuts. I pretty much... That game was, like, only on my radar because of Darth. But, like, I was not super invested in anything Transformers, but I saw that trailer and I was like, this, I might have to keep an eye on this. Like, this was crazy. Like, just the production value of it. It didn't show a lot, but the production value of it was like, okay, they're taking this game very seriously. It was cool. Then they showed a Mario movie clip, which they kept saying throughout the show, it's the first ever clip of the movie. And it seemed like everyone was like, what are you talking about? We've seen the movie like 3 times. But what they were trying to say was like it's the first clip. It's not a trailer. It's a literal just clip from the movie. And I saw 2 different articles online saying like, they showed a trailer of the Mario movie. And I was like, guys, the whole show they were like making it abundantly clear that it was a clip and not a trailer. And now everyone's just saying it was a trailer. They failed in their one job of conveying what it actually was. I'm wondering if I can... How am I gonna hurt this thing? Ow, 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 that hurts, that hurts. Did I bleed it? No. Vaughn seems to be doing a lot of damage with the Flame Tongue. I'm wondering if it's weak against fire. Actually surviving, but for how long? I might cast... Oh god. Don't die, friend. We're surviving, but he has so much health. Oh no. That hurt. Oh no. We might actually be able to win this fight if we have MP. If I can go in with like a berserked Vaughn, and actually have HP to just actually cast Kira. Too bad he doesn't like leave me alone. Yeah, I have haste, but I just haven't. I had no MP to cast it. But yeah, I think we can win that fight, honestly. Especially if I run there, but there's so many enemies. We're still getting really good XP from all this, though, so... I might go back and buy some stuff. I probably made quite a bit of money now. I don't know... Yeah, dude, it was probably like the most entertaining Game Awards show I've seen in a while. Or seen ever. So anyways, they showed the Mario clip, and it looks like they're basically making the Mario game movie. Like, it is very, it's not like Sonic, put it that way. It's like they took the game and made it a movie. It's weird. I expect nothing less from Illumination. It fits Illumination's style, but I don't know. I don't know how I feel about the movie. Still don't know how I feel about Chris Pratt. Chris Pratt. And the one thing that bothered me about the trailer, which this might be kind of a silly thing to complain about. He's so cool. This might be a silly thing to complain about. You tell me if you agree or not. But I don't understand who Mario is. Like, the idea of the movie is it's like his origin story, I guess. because he just kind of appears in the Mushroom Kingdom and doesn't know what anything is. So I guess he's literally just a plumber who just falls in a pipe or something and ends up in Mushroom Kingdom, like basically Alice in Wonderland style. But I don't know, he doesn't... Mario is like this special character. Like, even in the original game. Like, he can save the princess because he can jump and he's acrobatic and, you know, like, he's got this certain sense of, like, being a hero. But in the movie, he can't even, like, jump on the blocks. He can't even, like, he loses his balance and he's like, oh, like, he's just some guy. Like, he doesn't come across as special to me, which is weird. Like, I guess maybe the idea is that he becomes special throughout the movie. He starts off as just stupid plumber and then he becomes a hero. So I guess that's what they're going for. He eats a mushroom and becomes a hero. I don't know. I don't know. I get that, like, I guess that is kind of the point of Mario in the, like, he was just some guy. But I don't know. He comes across more of like a heroic guy, and he literally, like, can't even jump on the blocks. He goes through the pipe and, like, smashes his face on the ground. I don't know. I get it, though. I guess that's the point of the movie. But it just came across as weird to me. I was like, who am I supposed to be rooting for, like, connecting with here? Mario seems like a dunce. Trust the fungus. But it looked alright. Like I said, it looks like they are really trying to make the movie for real. Like, the game for real. The toads are hitting blocks and collecting coins, and it's like... It reminds me a little bit of Wreck-It Ralph Breaks the Internet. Wreck-It Ralph 2, where everything's, like, super meta. And I don't know. I still don't know how I feel about it. The only thing I do know is that Chris Pratt is really cool, but also doesn't sound like Mario. That's all I know. Chris Pratt is so cool, but not Mario. That's all I got, really. Stop silencing me. Just kill the Malboro. I don't want to use Ash's MP. Oh, I got 3 of them? Holy crap. Oh, by the way, that clip was the first time I had ever seen Peach. She looks weird. I do not like how Peach looks. I don't like how Mario looks, but I really don't like how Peach looks. She looks like a minion turned into Princess Peach. I am not about it. I do not like Peach. At all. Even if I, like, you know, go at it with, like, the sense of it's a Illumination movie. Ow. Like, I go in with the brain of, like, it's an Illumination movie and everything's gonna look like a minion and I have to deal with that. I can get through Mario looking like Mario, but dude, Peach just looks weird. I don't know. I can't get past it. You only see her face for like a second. But yeah, it's weird. Okay, anyways. Then we had probably the strangest announcement of the show, besides maybe Bayonetta Origins. Crash Bandicoot descends from the ceiling in the classic Crash Bandicoot suit that is like the meme from the early 2000s, which made me so happy because it's like one of my favorite things, is that Crash Bandicoot suit. It wasn't... The audio of Crash was like pre-recorded, so it wasn't as funny. But I have a connection with that Crash Bandicoot suit. I still remember sitting here with Tropton watching our old PlayStation demo videos and memeing about the Crash Bandicoot. That video is on YouTube if you want to watch it. I forget what it's called, but we played a bunch of old PlayStation 1 demo discs, and they had like the old Crash Bandicoot commercials, and they are hilarious. Like Crash just going around ticking everyone off, like it's hilarious. So it was great to see Crash, but then he's like, "Here's our new game," and it's I think it was 4v4 battle game. I don't even know what to call it. It's like it's not, MOBA is not the right word. It's more of like Rocket League. It's like almost like a Crash Bandicoot sport where it's like 4v4 and you're collecting fruit and getting them to a goal, and it's like a battle thing. It's more Rocket League than MOBA, but it's really kind of its own thing, and it's weird. At first, when I saw the good guys versus the bad guys, I was like, oh my god, they finally did it. They finally remastered Crash Bash. I hate the Game Awards. I hate Crash Bandicoot. I hate video games. But it wasn't. It was a new thing, and maybe by the time it's out, I'll be wishing they did Crash Bash instead. So it doesn't look that good. We'll see. We'll see. At least, like, visually it looked good. Then we had a Cyberpunk DLC, which I was like, okay, time to go refill my drink, because I could care less. But they did show that Idris Elba is going to be in the game, so I guess they're doubling down on the whole Keanu thing. They're like, okay, Keanu wasn't enough. We see your Keanu, we raise you Idra. Is it gonna bring flocks of people back to the game? I don't know. I don't care. Cyberpunk is dead to me, but if you're into Cyberpunk, then congrats. You get another actor in your game. That's pretty neat. Then we had a game by Focus Studios and Don't Nod, which I thought was a really cool combination. And it's called Banishers, and it looks pretty neat. The animations of the characters were a bit weird in the trailer, but the concept looked cool, and Don't Nod is dope, so I'm down to clown. I'm down to clown with that game, it looks neat. Help! 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 Then we had... I'll be honest, don't even remember what the name of the game was. Doesn't matter what the name of the game was. It was like Villains or something. Doesn't matter. Literally, the name of the game is the least important thing about it. This game has Chuck Norris, Danny Trejo, and Vanilla Ice. I will repeat that for you. We are living in a timeline where a video game is being made that includes Chuck Norris, Danny Trejo, Danny Glover, and Vanilla Ice in the same game. That's all I have to say. There's nothing else you can say. That is one of the weirdest, but most amazing casts I've ever heard. I think I have to play it just off of that alone. Just off of the... Just off the spectacle alone. I have to play it. Can we go back? I think it was Crime Boss. I think that was the name. Which is an awful name, by the way. I don't like that name at all. It's like those stupid mobile commercials with the level 1 grunt and the level 99 boss. It's like they're trying to feed off that energy or something. I think it's dumb. Even Jeff, after the trailer, he looked at the camera and he's like, Chuck Norris! Like, like, okay, we got Chuck Norris in this game. Let's go. Okay, so after that, by far the biggest announcement, and it's not even close, Armored Core 6. I looked it up, 11 years since the last Armored Core game. They open up, and it said, From Software, and we were like, and like the crowd went crazy, and then after that, they realized what it actually was, and they went even crazier. Because at first it wasn't obvious. They showed From Software before they showed a robot, but as soon as the first robot appeared, everyone went nuts. So that's really cool. I'm not into Armored Core, but I might have to get into it. But regardless, that's a big announcement for just gaming in general. It's been 11 years since the last Armored Core game. Armored Core, long story short, it was From Software's baby before Dark Souls happened. Which I don't know the dates of Dark Souls games, if like they were still making Armored Core, or if they completely quit Armored Core before Dark Souls started. I'm not sure on that, but yeah, it was basically their baby before Souls took over. A lot of really great old PS1 mech games. And yeah, the last one was on PS3. Okay, so it was like Demon Souls, and then Armored Core, the last Armored Core, and then after Dark Souls, they went full Dark Souls. That makes sense. Because Demon Souls wasn't really, like, if I remember correctly, Demon Souls wasn't a phenomenon as Dark Souls was. Like, Demon Souls sold well and everything, but it didn't hit it, like, insanely big like Dark Souls did. Anyways. Then they did the final announcement, which was the Final Fantasy XVI trailer. The Final Fantasy XVI trailer looked really good, and I have to give Square Enix credit. They finally, like, it. I don't know if they'll keep doing this, but people were worried that the next Final Fantasy XVI trailer was going to, like, spoil the entire game, because they always do this. They always spoil their games and their trailers. I don't know why. Square Enix is stupid. But luckily, the Final Fantasy XVI trailer was very spoiler-free. It was mostly stuff we've already seen. And it was a lot of combat, which was cool. I didn't say anything about... Well, I didn't have much to say about Replaced, but Replaced looked neat. I didn't have much to say about it. That's probably why I didn't put any notes down, but... I was so enthralled by the show that I did, like, forget to put some notes down about stuff. But yeah, Replaced looked cool. Anyway, so, they didn't show, like, they didn't spoil anything, and they showed a lot of combat. The only thing that was notable, which, I guess minor spoiler, but it's not I don't think it's a big deal. If you, like, absolutely don't want a single spoiler about 16, you can mute the video for a second. But it's really not that big of a deal. But the one thing I did want to point out about the trailer is before we were making some guesses about if each summon was linked to a person, and that was it. Like, each person had, like, one summon, kind of like Digimon, like the old Digimon series, all, like, one specific Digimon. But there was a part in the trailer where two Ifrits collided. So, I think that was their way of telling us, like, there's something else going on. But we still don't know what. So, and that might have just been, like, that might have been a specific scene where that happened, but it could have been anything. Like, it could still be the way we thought it was, and that was just something special that happened. Who knows? But I just thought that was interesting. But other than that, they basically just showed stuff we already knew. But they also gave a release date. It's June. That's pretty hype. That's not so far away. I knew it wouldn't be too far away because the game really does look finished. Like, the last couple of trailers looked pretty, like, they're pretty close to being done. And I don't think they're gonna push this back. They've showed so many trailers up to this point without a release date that I think this is for sure the release date. So, barring another, like, pandemic or something pushing the industry back, I think this is going to be the release date, which is real hype. So, yeah, I think that was about it for Final Fantasy 16. And then they did, before they did Game of the Year, well, for the nominees for Game of the Year, they showed, or they had the orchestra play, and oh man, if there's one thing you watch from Game of the Year, you gotta watch the orchestra play the nominees for Game of the Year. Oh my god, I had like a tear in my eye when they were playing the Forbidden West section. It was so good. And the best thing about the orchestra was they kept zooming in on a specific guy in the orchestra. I don't know if we know who that guy is, like if he's someone special that I'm supposed to know the name of. But they kept zooming in on the same guy with curly hair, and every time they zoomed in on him, he had a different instrument. It was incredible. Every time they zoomed in, he had some other instrument, and he was going wild. And then at the end, he, like, celebrated. Like, he had the... If you look, when they finished, and they all turned around and bowed, if you looked in the back, he was, like, he was, like, pumping his fist, like, yeah, we did it. It was awesome. It was the highlight of the entire show. It was awesome. So yeah, that was amazing. Gotta give it up for that guy. You know, I just realized, having double MP, it doesn't seem to make the amount I get from running around, well, maybe a little bit. I was looking at if my MP stroll was stronger now that I have so much more MP. I think it's slightly better. As I get more MP, it definitely gets faster, but I was hoping the double MP would, like, give it a huge boost. Anyway, and then, Elden Ring won Game of the Year, like we said. Then a guy got on stage and said something about Bill Clinton, and then he got arrested. And that was the show. What a finale. You know, someone's always got to ruin the fun. That was yet. Yeah, so no one knows who that guy was. I read an article about it this morning. It was some random guy. Got on stage, said something about Bill Clinton, and then he got arrested afterwards. Yeah, Jeff actually tweeted and said he got arrested. So. But now we know the true canon. Bill Clinton won Game of the Year. pretty exciting that he's still getting stuff done in his age. Yeah. So it was just an ad for the new Amogus game. He was an imposter. Of all the things to say, too, like, I don't know, what a weirdo. But anyway, that was it. That was the show. It was extremely entertaining. A lot of really cool announcements and surprise announcements. Every year it feels more and more like freaking E3. Like, I really do like how they're kind of taking on the... They're kind of becoming the E3 successor in some ways. I don't expect any companies to do, like, any companies to make an announcement. Like, we're not going to get the PS6 announcement during the Game Awards or anything, but it's cool how they are really, like, it really is a celebration of games and not just, here's these awards that we, you know, basically did a popularity contest for. Like, it's feeling more and more like a show, and it was way, way more entertaining this time around, so yeah, it was hype. I really enjoyed it a lot. Yeah, think of the gifted sub to Grim. Al Pacino was there, and he did the classic, I don't even play video games, but no one cared. I always love when they do that. Like, okay, I get what you're saying. I get why you're saying it, but don't say it. Just pretend. Just like, you don't have to say, hello, fellow kids, I enjoy a video game or two. Like, just don't say anything about it. Just say what you were gonna say. You don't have to pull the, I don't play video games, but I saw my son play Amogus once. Like, just leave it. You know? You're Al Pacino. Everyone loves you. You don't need to play video games to be here. So just keep it rolling, you know? You don't need to prove yourself to us, is what I'm saying. Like, you're Al Pacino. It's fine. We know why you're here. So, but no, it was cute. It was fun. They had fun with it. The whole show, it felt like I said, it's feeling more and more like E3, where they just kind of have fun with it. They got Crash coming down from the ceiling, and, you know, more goofy stuff going on, and I enjoy it. It's way more entertaining. Well, E3 is like dying, so like I said, they're kind of picking up the ball where E3 left off in a lot of ways. Alright, do we try to fight this thing? If we try to fight this thing, I need to sit here and get MP for a while. Unfortunately. I like the sound effect when you go to cast Berserk. No, not me. Someone needs to tell them next year to make their teleprompter bigger. Because, like, Pacino was like, I'm having a hard time seeing the prompt, the teleprompter, which was, like, funny, and, like, he's an older guy, so, like, it makes sense. But then there was, like, 6 other people throughout the night who you could tell were leaning forward to try to read it. Like, guys, make the font bigger. Do something. Like, everyone's struggling out there. I feel bad for Pacino, because everyone's going to call him, like, an old fart now who can't read the teleprompter, but it was not just him. It was everyone. Everyone struggled with it. So they need a bigger teleprompter next year. That's my recommendation. I really wish Berserk, like, would hit. It's so hard to hit for some reason. Let's give him haste.